brothers rock Jesus pieces, but they really don't know Jesus. Just know that he's the seed, and please believe it. We got the keys to the kingdom. We'll never be defeated. Evil legions, all of these hidden demons. I know you see them scheming, please believe it. We got the keys to the kingdom. We got the keys for these brothers rock Jesus pieces, but they really don't know Jesus. Just know that he's the seed, and please believe it. We got the keys to the kingdom. We'll never be defeated. Evil legions, all of these hidden demons. I know you see them scheming, please believe it. We got the keys to the kingdom. We got the keys to the keys to the.
I'm gonna ask you a question, Rod. How did the so-called African American make it over here to America? Based on what you know or been taught.
They were captured in Africa and brought over as slaves.
We were captured in Africa, brought over slave ships. You agree with that?
I agree with that.
Okay. I'm gonna show you know how old this Bible is? Okay, let me ask you this, better question. How long ago did that happen, that we were brought as captives over here to America in slave ships, roughly?
Beginning about the
14th, 15th century, roughly?
No, it's
Too
too early.
early?
Yeah, no, in the 1600s.
1600s? Okay. So let's just say roughly 500 years.
Yep.
Okay. Do we know for a fact that this Bible is at least more than 500 years? 500 years?
I don't know.
Okay. The Bible is thousands of years old. Now I'm going to show you something in this 1,000-year-old book that's going to tell you about something that happened less than 500 years ago. Brother, you listening? It's a great conversation. Watch this.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68.
Now, Rod agrees, ladies and gentlemen, that we as the so-called African Americans were brought over here on slave ships roughly less than 500 years ago. We're reading out of the King James Bible, which is, we know for a fact, over thousands of years old.
Yes.
We're going to read a prophecy to you. And Rod, I want you to tell me, is this historically accurate?
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So it said, the Lord will bring us to Egypt, get what I want, into Egypt again with ships. Now, most people, when you ask them Egypt, you think automatically of the landmass, right? Most people do. The Bible tells you that the word Egypt means slavery. Egyptos, okay? Watch this. We're going to give you the history on the word. Prove all things with the Bible. Read.
Exodus chapter 20 and verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which hath brought thee out of the land of Egypt.
He said, I brought you out of the land of Egypt. Watch this.
Out of the house of bondage.
He said, out of the house of bondage. So when you hear the word Egypt, you should automatically think house of bondage. Now, there was definitely some captivity that was happening in Egypt, right? You're familiar with the Egyptians, all of their numerous amount of dynasties, and the different people that they enslaved, correct? Okay, read it one more time.
I am the Lord thy God, which hath brought thee out of the land of Egypt.
Brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the land of bondage.
Out of the house of bondage.
Out of the house of bondage. Big brother, what's your name real quick? Yasin. All right. What I'm talking to Rod about, first we read in the Bible and proved that Jesus the Christ had black skin and woolly hair just like we do. So the first thing I was doing was tearing this down, because this is the image that was given to our people, and it's still being given to our people. All right. Next, I was asking Rod historically. He says he doesn't put any merit on the Bible. So I said, fine, let's go historically and see what we can agree upon. So, just for edification, I asked Rod, how long ago were the so-called African Americans brought to America on slave ships? Rod's answer was roughly 400 to 500 years. Would you agree with that, Yassine? Okay, that's a historical fact. We know that we came over here on slave ships, correct? Do you believe in the Bible? You do. Okay. We're reading in the Bible that was written thousands of years ago that was prophesied to happen to a certain group of people. All right? Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt.
So he said, the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt. Now, whenever you read, you got to know who the subject matter is about. So, Rod, right here in the book of Deuteronomy, who is this written to? Do you have any idea? The Jewish people, not Jewish. Let's call them the Jews. Let's be more specific and call them the children of Israel. Okay? Now, we're going to prove that with the Bible. Watch this, y'all see.
Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel. All Israel.
So this is Moses. He's writing this letter to all Israel. He's not talking to any other nationality. At this time, these are the folks that came out of captivity under the Egyptians. He's writing to them specifically. So, just for edification, there was no such thing as chapters and verses back then.
Right.
It was one long letter, right? So, let's use our brains here. If he's talking to the children of Israel at the beginning of the letter, chapter 1, who would he be talking to in chapter 7? Who would he be talking to in chapter 28? Who would he be talking to through the entire letter?
Bring it out. Israelites.
Still the Israelites, the children of Israel. Rob, would you agree with that? Yep. Okay. Y'all seeing, you with me? Now, we're in Deuteronomy. We just saw that in the first chapter, Moses is talking to who? Israelites. Now we're going to go to chapter 28. Read this.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
So, Egypt, Rod, according to the Bible, I know you don't believe, but the Bible just described Egypt as the land of what? Bondage, captivity. You with me, boss? My man. So, Egypt in the Bible is captivity, bondage, or slavery. Okay? All the same thing, all synonyms. John, you need to stick around for this. You ain't gonna hear nothing better than this today. All right. Go on. Now we're going back.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
So, you see, he said, the Lord shall bring you back into Egypt, back into bondage, back into slavery, back into captivity. Again. This time how?
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
Rod, how did we get over here historically, less than 500 years ago? With ships. What did the Bible just say? Bible just agree with you, John. I'm sorry, Rod. Now, you don't agree with the Bible. Somehow the Bible agrees with you.
Right.
Okay, let's be clear. It just said the same thing you said. The so-called African Americans, so-called Spanish men, or so-called Native Americans, we were all brought over here by the way of slave ships less than 500 years ago. Read it again. Watch this.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Now, it just told us how we was going to get over here, and I see you got something. Hold that. I'm going to let you deal with it, okay? Said we were brought over here on slave ships. It's going to tell you what happened to the children of Israel, the Jews, when they came over here on these slave ships. Read.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
So it's talking about our homeland. It says where you're from, you're not going to see it anymore. Now, we can argue this, but historically, they said, what's the, they call the cradle of civilization. What continent would you find that on? Africa. Right? No big secret. Now, the Bible tells us, get that, because we like to prove everything with the Bible, Jerusalem is the mother of us all.
That's right.
That's where the first man was created. That's where we come from. According to the Bible. I know you don't believe in it. According to the Bible. Read.
Galatians chapter 4, verse 26.
Read.
But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all.
Jerusalem is the mother of us all. You're saying, where do we come from? Jerusalem. I need you to know this, because look, you got kids? When you have them, you're going to need to teach them where they come from.
That's right.
They don't come from Silver Spring. We are not from here. That's why everything here is set up against us. You got to know these things so you can teach those around you. So, go back. It's going to tell us what happened when we got off those slave ships.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. By the way whereof I spake unto thee.
Hold on. Rod, who were we sold to? Who were the African Americans sold to when we got off the slave ships? Europeans, Caucasians, whatever you want to call them, right? Right? You agree with that? Watch what the Bible says.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
Hold on. This is important. I need everybody to listen up. Read.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
Read.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
Rod, who were we sold to when we got off the slave ships? White people. Now, I know you don't agree with the Bible, but what does the Bible call the people that we were sold to when we got off the slave ships? Hold on, read it again.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
Who were we sold to when we came off the slave ships? And the Bible calls them who? Well, just the Bible, not you. Not you, Rod. Not you, Rod. What does the Bible say? What does the Bible say? The Bible said enemies. Now I'm gonna ask you this. We just read it. Let me ask you this. I'm gonna ask you this, Rod. No, don't go nowhere.
No, I gotta go.
You gotta go. Historically, Rod, have we been treated as friends? Have the Caucasians treated the so-called African Americans as friends since we got over here in slavery? No. Historically. Now, if we turn on the news today, is it more or less the same thing going on? Are we still being oppressed today by the same people we were sold to?
Yes.
Do you know what just happened with affirmative action?
Yeah,
they just gutted it, right?
Yep.
Going back 40, 45 years, right?
Yep.
How do you think that will affect my community? Poorly.
Yep.
So, I know you don't agree with the Bible, but you sure enough seem to agree with a lot of things in this Bible.
Yes. I agree with a lot of things that have been injustices, yes.
Yes, indeed.
But that book,
Tell me.
you're using parts of it your way.
Well, give me a part so we can use it your way. Let's see about this part. Go to Genesis 25.
Don't go to Genesis.
Well, what's wrong? Genesis is the beginning. Now, I'm just going to ask you some questions. Not about the Bible, historically. All right? Because you're a smart guy. Go to Genesis 25, start at 21.
Genesis chapter 25, verse 21. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife.
Now, I know you don't agree or believe in any of these characters, right? That's what we'll call them for your sake. You don't believe with any of these characters, right? But let's just hear the story out.
Because she was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him.
So, brother had a wife. She could not have children. She was barren, right? So it says he was entreated of her. So he prayed to the Most High God, which most men would do. You married?
Yep.
Okay, you got kids?
Yep.
Okay, good thing. How many kids you got, Rob? 4 kids. Beautiful thing. Most men want to carry on their legacy. So if you are found in that same position where you can't have kids, if you believe in a higher power, most folks are going to pray to that higher power to open up the womb, correct? Whatever higher power you may believe in. Okay, read.
And Rebekah, his wife, conceived.
She conceived. So the Most High God heard his prayers. She was able to give birth. She got pregnant, okay? Read.
And the children struggled together within her.
Now, Rob, when a woman is pregnant and she has more than one child in her womb, let's say she has 2, what are they called? They're called twins. Now, what are the 2 types of twins we have? Fraternal and identical. I'm gonna help you out. Identical and fraternal, right? Identical twins look the exact same. That's why they call them identical, right? Fraternal twins share different characteristics physically, right? Read.
And the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And
so she said, if it be such, if this is a blessing from the Most High God, why is there so much turmoil? Why is there such a rough pregnancy? You with me? Read.
And she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb.
2 what? What's your name, big brother? What's your name? Joshua. Joshua. She just said it's what? 2 nations in thy womb. Bible didn't say 2 people. Bible said 2 nations in thy womb. Read.
2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people.
It says 2 manner of people. So these 2 different nations and these 2 manner of people, they're going to be totally different. they're going to be on opposite ends of the spectrum, right? Different in manner. So if you're mild-mannered, right, and I'm not, are we not on different ends of the spectrum? Rod is pretty cool. I'll go the hell off, right? That's two manner of people. Okay, we agree. Read.
And two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
So even though they're twins, they're coming out of the same womb, the Bible said that they shall be separated from their bowels. So from the very beginning, whatever these two nations are, the Bible already prophesied that they're going to be separated, right? Read. Big brother, you got 3 minutes? 3. I do it in 2. You got 2? All right, I'll see when you get back.
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people.
So Rod, it said that one people is going to be stronger than the other. Now Rod, I'm going to ask you some historical questions.
Yep.
You watch sports?
Yep.
A little bit. What you watch? What you like?
Anything.
Anything. Okay. Football. Who makes up the majority of the National Football League?
Bring it out.
Our people. African Americans.
Yep.
Stronger, faster,
Larger percentage. Yep.
larger percentage. Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yep.
You watch boxing?
Yep.
When's the last time you had a white heavyweight?
When they were running.
When they were rushing. How long ago was that?
Oh, been years.
Been years. The majority of your heavyweight champs are what? Black. Most of your boxers, when you cut on, they look like what? Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, right?
Yes.
Okay. We'll leave it right there. Basketball, thank you. What about basketball? Same thing? Okay. Read it one more time.
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people.
So it says one of these people is going to be stronger than the other people. Just the way it is. If 2 men standing right here, one is going to be the strongest, right? Nothing wrong with that. Read.
And the elder shall serve the younger.
So it says the elder will serve the younger. Now in terms of twins, whichever child is born first is known as the elder. It only may be 8 seconds, but that's the oldest child, right? So this says the elder shall serve the younger. Read.
And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb.
We already figured that out.
And the first came out red.
Rod, it said the first one came out red. So we got 2 twins here. It says the first one came out red. Now, if I were to ask you what is your color, what would you say?
White.
You're going to say you're white. Now, this is white, right? Your socks, hold up, what color are your socks? Are you the same color as your socks?
Nope.
So we got a problem. Because they would call me black, right?
Yep.
Am I the same color as my pants? Oh, so we got a problem. We got to figure something out. Because the Bible don't call us black, white. It don't call us those things. Now, I'm going to ask you this. If you get cold, what color would your skin turn? No, not if you die. That's if you, when you first start getting cold. Red. I'll help you out. What if you get hot? What if you get frustrated? Red. If you laugh real hard. Red. God forbid if somebody was to put their hands on you, you get in a tussle, what color you gonna turn? Probably red. Rod said more than likely he's being described as red. Let's read the Bible again.
And the first came out red all over like in hairy garment.
Now you're absolutely right. You said why is that? You said the blood, because the blood shows forth through your skin. Now I got blood too, right? Does it show forth through my skin? Am I red right now? If you smack me right now, I turn hot, but I won't turn red. Listen, we gotta listen. Let's just keep going down the path we're going. No, because that's my path.
I gotta go.
Please, stick around. Come on, let's get it to it.
And the first came out red all over like in hairy garment. And they called his name Esau.
It said his name was Esau. So what we just read out the Bible, Rod, on your way out, is that the Bible doesn't call you white. He calls your people, your nationality. He says the Bible calls you Esau. So just so you know, if it ever comes up again, you'll know that God calls you Esau, right? All right.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models.